Immediately after the end of MW2, Captain Price and Nikolai safely evacuate the gravely wounded Soap from their battle with Shepard to a hidden mountain safehouse in northern India. Soap, fading in and out of consciousness, has vivid flashbacks to earlier missions as Price and Nikolai carry him through the Himalayan corridors to reach a doctor. The mission is largely cinematic, ending with Soap stabilized by the medics. Delta Force Team Metal under Sergeant Derek Frost Westbrook fights through war-ravaged Manhattan during a full-scale Russian invasion. The team pushes into the New York Stock Exchange, climbs to the roof, and plants thermite charges to destroy a Russian radio jammer, restoring Allied communications. Once the jammer is gone, Frost calls on a Predator drone to take out enemy troops. Afterwards, Frost and Sandman defend a rescue Black Hawk helicopter under Mi-24 attack. Frost shoots down an enemy Hind before their chopper successfully evacuates. This clears the way for extraction and sets up the next mission in New York Harbor. Delta Force Team Metal under Sergeant Derek Frost Westbrook conducts a stealthy assault on a Russian Oscar II submarine hidden in New York Harbor. Using swimmer propulsion vehicles, they infiltrate via the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel with Navy SEAL support. They plant charges to force the sub to surface, then board it. Frost and Sandman clear the crew from the bridge and fire its own cruise missiles at the Russian fleet in the harbor. As the missiles devastate the enemy ships, the team escapes aboard Zodiac boats. A U.S. military helicopter picks up the team, having crippled the Russian naval attack in Manhattan. Yuri TF-141 must protect the injured Soap as Makarov's forces trace them to a mountain safehouse in India. After the doctor treating Soap is killed, Yuri and Price carry Soap through an ambush on the compound. In a courtyard ambush, Yuri operates a crate-revealed Russian UGV, unmanned ground vehicle, to mow down enemy infantry, buying time for the team. When a Russian Reaper drone destroys the UGV, Yuri, Price, and Nikolai fight their way to the escape helicopter. They board just as enemy attacks collapse the safehouse around them. This completes the extraction from India, although Soap remains gravely wounded. FSO agent Andrei Kharkov is aboard the Russian presidential jet Command Force, heading to a peace summit in Hamburg when Makarov's terrorists hijack the plane. Kharkov and a small security team fight their way through the cabin. During the attack, the plane suddenly drops and begins to fall rapidly, creating a moment where everything inside floats weightlessly, like astronauts in space. In this chaos, Kharkov shoots down several hijackers while drifting in midair. After clearing the cabin, Kharkov and his team rush to protect President Vershevsky and his daughter. But Makarov has set a trap. He arrives in a helicopter, kills Kharkov's teammate, and detonates an explosive that kills Colonel Pidovkin and other guards, kidnapping the president. Kharkov is left badly wounded on the cabin floor. In short, Makarov captures the Russian president, hoping to force him to give up nuclear launch codes, while Kharkov and the guards are taken out of the fight.
You know who I am?
Yes.
Then you know what I want.
You're insane.
Russia will take all of Europe, even if it must stand upon a pile of ashes. I want the launch codes, Mr. President.
You'll never get them.
Every man has his weakness. Find the girl.
Yuri, Price, and Soap deploy in Sierra Leone to track Makarov's armed shipments. They fight through a rebel hell village and confront militia squads on the way to Makarov's factory site. Yuri covers Price and Soap as they engage enemy positions and push toward the target. Finally, they storm a churchyard where Makarov's cargo is stored, but Makarov's men sneak the cargo onto a departing Mi-8 helicopter before the team can secure it. The helicopter lifts off with its illicit shipment intact, showing that this mission's objective, seizing Makarov's shipment, has failed. In London, Canary Wharf, THES operators, Burns, Walcroft, and team ambush an inner circle chemical weapons cell. They silently clear a warehouse of terrorists preparing a suspicious shipment. Discovering the van is empty, the terrorists flee into the city underground. Pursuing into the Westminster tube tunnels, Burns and the SAS derail a freight train to stop the fugitives. On the surface, the SAS engage a suspicious tanker at street level and turn it over in a firefight, only to find it was a decoy. Unbeknownst to them, the real nerve gas truck pulls off, then explodes nearby, releasing poison that kills innocent Londoners, the Davis family. In effect, Makarov's nerve gas attack succeeds despite the SAS efforts. A cinematic interlude rather than combat. An American tourist family, the Devises, visits central London on that same day. They notice a parked cargo truck, which suddenly detonates a covert chemical bomb. The gas kills Mr. and Mrs. Davis and their daughter. This tragic event is shown as part of Makarov's coordinated chemical attacks across Europe. No player action occurs. It serves to underscore the civilian toll in Makarov's far-reaching plot.
Don't go too far. Birds! Look, Mommy, there's birds! That's your daughter. You know she gets that from you.
Weeks later in Hamburg, Germany, Delta Force Frost Team is deployed to rescue the captured U.S. vice president during the Russian onslaught. Allied forces land on the beach under heavy fire and clear urban streets with support from U.S. Army, Marines, tanks, and air support. After turning a corner, they find the shredded remains of the vice president's convoy, but no survivors. Intelligence leads them to a guarded building. Frost's squad breaches the room in a slow-motion firefight and rescues the vice president. An Osprey arrives for extraction, marking a successful end to the mission. Yuri joins Price and Soap in Somalia to capture warlord Warabe, the man who distributed the chemical agents. They storm his desert compound in armored jeeps, fighting off heavy militia resistance. Yuri even mans a Mi-24 helicopter's turret to suppress enemies. Inside Warabe's office, Yuri and Price use his own nerve gas to force a confession. Warabe reveals he sold the gas to a chemist named Viktor Vok-Kristenko in Paris. Price then executes Warabe, ending the interrogation. As they retreat with Nikolai's extraction team, the sandstorm hits and enemy forces ambush them. A missile damages the first chopper, forcing the team to a backup LZ, where they narrowly escape by Osprey. Nikolai survives off-screen. The intel from Warabe sets the next target, Vok in Paris. Frost teams with GIGN commandos in Paris to hunt Vok, Makarov's bombmaker. Dropped by helicopter near the battle lines, Frost joins GIGN forces and fights through bombed buildings alongside French troops. Eventually, GIGN leads them to an entrance in the Paris catacombs. Frost pursues Vok through the catacombs, forcing him to flee to the surface. Vok escapes in a vehicle, but Frost's squad commandeers a civilian van and chases him through the streets, exchanging fire with pursuing Russian forces. After a fierce chase, the team captures Vok, securing their target. Frost and Team Metal escort the wounded Vok, now a prisoner, to an alternate extraction point in Paris. Their original Raptor extraction is shot down, so they call in an AC-130 gunship, Warhammer, for cover. From the air, Warhammer decimates Russian infantry and armor in a city roundabout and on nearby streets. On the ground, Frost's squad advances under the gunship's protection. They fend off rocket nests and heavy enemy resistance. Frost even uses a Javelin missile to destroy two T-72 tanks blocking a river crossing. As American A-10s carpet bomb enemy armor, Warhammer continues to wipe out Russian forces. Ultimately, the Eiffel Tower caught in the firefight is knocked over into the Seine. Frost and Vok are finally extracted by helicopters at a makeshift LZ on a bridge as French and American troops swarm in. Yuri, Soap, and Price rendezvous with the Czech resistance in Prague after Makarov has taken the city. Emerging from the sewers, they silently swim into the city while occupiers execute local prisoners overhead. Soap and Yuri then stealth kill isolated Russian patrols in back alleys. Soon the resistance opens fire from rooftops on the Russian garrison. A pitched battle erupts on a city square. Insurgent fighters in TF-141 knock out transport choppers and destroy BTRs in cover fire engagements. Soap and Yuri dash through buildings, take out rooftop snipers and heavy machine guns, and rally the resistance. They push onward to the center of Prague. By mission's end, they reach St. Lawrence Church where Makarov is believed to be. Yuri and Soap take defensive positions in the church, awaiting the final assault. Yuri and Soap set up an ambush on a church rooftop overlooking the Lustig Hotel, where Makarov is trapped. Price and Czech leader Kamarov simultaneously storm Makarov's party below. After killing guards on the roof, Price rappels into the hotel and finds Kamarov strapped to a seat with C4. Makarov taunts them on the radio and blows Kamarov up, revealing he anticipated the attack. Suddenly, the rooftop explodes. Yuri throws Soap to safety just before the building collapses under enemy charges. Soap is mortally wounded by falling debris, as Price helps Yuri escape into the plaza under heavy fire. Realizing Soap is dying, Price stays by his side as Soap warns him about Makarov's knowledge of Yuri's past before succumbing to his injuries. The mission ends with Soap dead and Makarov still at large. Yuri survives but is traumatized by the betrayal and loss.
Clear the table! Not now, son. Just rest. Get a medic! Come on, stay with me, son. Price. No. Makarov. Those. Yuri. Oh, no! Soap! No! Soap! You have to go now! Get off me! I'm sorry.
2 months later, Price and Yuri parachute into Karlsten Castle, outside Prague, an inner circle arms depot. They stealthily neutralize guards and plant C4 charges under key structures while using silenced weapons to avoid alerts. Peeking through a floor vent, Yuri overhears Makarov torturing the Russian president for nuclear codes and learning that Elena, the president's daughter, is being moved to Berlin. After clearing out the castle's interior, Yuri detonates the charges on an old bridge, slaughtering dozens of enemy soldiers. Price and Yuri then steal an enemy YZ jeep and plunge it off a cliff. Both men parachute to safety. This secures vital intel on Makarov's plans and escapes before friendly helicopters arrive. Delta Force teams with German Bundeswehr tanks to rescue Elena Vershevsky in Berlin. Price leads an assault on a ruined high-rise hotel, where Makarov's men hold her hostage. Frost's squad lands on the roof and clears it of hostiles. Then Frost provides sniper cover for a U.S. team, Granite Team, repelling waves of Russian forces and BTRs as they storm the hotel lobby. When enemy tanks encircle the building, Frost must use a SOFLM to coordinate 10 airstrikes that destroy all the tanks in the streets below. After the U.S. assault team rappels down inside the hotel, a hidden breach ambush wipes them out and Elena is snatched by an escape helicopter before Delta can reach her. Frost and Sandman fight through collapsing debris, but are too late. The mission ends with Elena's kidnapping and a grim report to command. Task Force 141 and Delta Force mount a joint rescue in a Siberian diamond mine to save President Vershevsky. The team fights up from deep within the mine, deploying Predator drones and calling in air support as they battle through inner tunnels. They first find Elena wounded but alive, who warns that her father is being taken deeper into the complex. Pursuing a Russian convoy, the team breaches a vault-like bunker where the president is held, eliminating captors just as Makarov's men prepare to execute him. With the president and daughter reunited, the team calls for extraction. A Black Hawk arrives while Sandman's men hold off remaining enemies. Amid an intense firefight, Yuri is knocked unconscious and Price drags him toward the evac. Facing an overwhelming force, Sandman, Grinch, and Truck stay behind to cover the escape, sacrificing themselves. The mission ends with Price carrying Yuri and Vershevsky in the chopper as the mine collapses. Russia's president is alive and peace talks resume, but Makarov remains at large. The final mission takes place in Dubai. Price, wearing a juggernaut suit, and Yuri storm the Hotel Oasis penthouse to kill Makarov. They fight up the building, but an RPG causes a helicopter to crash, intensifying the battle. Price chases Makarov onto an escaping helicopter. On the burning roof, Yuri, severely wounded from the crash, shoots Makarov with a pistol, weakening him, but is immediately gunned down by Makarov. Left alone, Price beats Makarov to the floor, then strangles him with a steel cable. Both fall through the collapsing skylight. Makarov hangs dead from the cable. Price lands alive amidst the wreckage. The credits roll with Price smoking a cigar over Makarov's corpse. The terrorist is finally dead, concluding the trilogy.